see if this is working. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. And hopefully you guys can find me again. Oh, how very frustrating. I'm just seeing if it's showing us back live just yet. Okay. I hope we're not going to have to abandon this. It looks like it's still quite frozen. Hey, a bit of movement. It is still very much sticking, isn't it? Which is such a shame. I'm gonna persevere for a little bit, but if we continue to have the issues with it, then what I will do, guys, is I will finish the card. I will record what I'm doing, and then I will post it after the event. But Facebook is annoying when it doesn't play ball and work as you want it to, absolutely. And it's so frustrating for you guys because, you know, you're trying to watch something and it's just sticking. But it looks like YouTube's doing the same, so there must be something with my connection here today. My Wi-Fi must not be playing ball, and I always blame Ant for this, but it does seem to be when he's in the building that the internet is much worse. I don't know whether it's his phone or whatever, but it just takes all of the Wi-Fi space. So yeah, I'm very slow, aren't I? Can see. So I'm just adding a little bit of extra ink to the tops of my grass here. I'm just going to keep going and hopefully it'll catch up. And the issues will resolve themselves. So, and hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. I've just got a little bit of ink on the bottom there, but I think I might end up cutting that off, so that shouldn't be a problem. So that's fine. I'm not going to add any more than that, I don't think. And then I just want to add a little bit to my bit of fence here. So I'm going to use some tea dye, I think. Should we try some gathered twigs? I haven't used gathered twigs for a while. And I'm going to use my I am going to use one of the little stackable brushes here to do that. I used my orange one for brown. It is quite good for you know, for using for your browns, and because it's not going to contaminate your oranges so much. So so yeah, that's pretty cool. That's why I tend to use it for that. And then I'm going to use a little bit of tea dye just to darken that up. So what I find is that when I'm colouring, and I'm colouring anything in kind of red or orange, that if I want to add shading with a darker colour, rather than just going through the different shades of red or orange, then brown is a really good accent colour. So that's one to just think about. So I'm just adding a little bit of dimension here with the that brush just in the middle portions. So just rubbing that over the surface. It looks like the video seems to have caught up a little bit now, so it's going to be interesting when I do the playback, because I try my best to record things as I film, so that you know, if I do get an opportunity to, which I don't always, I can edit the video and give you, you know, maybe a quicker version to watch at a later date. I don't always get a chance to do that. I didn't do that for the last week because it's half done. I just need to add my voiceover, but I just haven't had a chance to finish it with everything else that we've been doing. So yeah, so it'd be interesting when I play this back to see if it's been a smooth stream in terms of the filming, because we had been having problems before with the video camera freezing, hadn't we? So I've been plagued with issues. So let's have a little look at what we've got going on here now. We've got the basis of a scene popping together here, haven't we? Which is pretty cool, and it's come together really quite quickly. That I'm really happy with that. So then I've got my little fence here, which is very cute. So, and then so that's creating a really cute scene, and then my little bear is going to sit at the front here, and we're going to have the sentiment just here. So so that's excellent. That's coming together nicely. So I'm going to just roll this back up, and we can do some stamping now. So I didn't get to use it's just a bit juddery. Yeah, it does seem a little bit, it's more or less back to normal, but it's still just, it's like sticking a little bit, isn't it? I don't really understand why. I'm so sorry. If you're all right for me to continue, I will persevere. But like I say, I will upload the recorded version and edited version after the event, so that you don't have to deal with all of that. So let's pop our sentiment just there, because I know that's where I want it to go, and I'm actually just going to secure this with a bit of washi because I don't want that to move around. I want to make sure that we've got that in the right place, and I'm going to use some of my VersaFine. So it's knocked me off my my flow a little bit, because I'm conscious that, you know, you might not be getting the best viewing experience here, so I am sorry. So I was telling you a story though, Angie, about, I'm glad you found us and you've come back, because Ant was working nights last night, and he had, oh, that's stamped really, really well. I don't know whether I dare do it again. What do you think? Let's do it again. Yeah, he was on a job, went to a job last night to rescue a little kitten, and it was his first like kitten rescue that he's had since joining the service. So it was a little kitten that had managed to get himself trapped. So he'd from what, very briefly, the conversation we had this morning when I got home was that he was owned by people living in a flat above a shop, and they'd been doing some decorating or renovations or whatever, and he'd managed to get behind some cupboards or whatever, that then found a gap like they do, and has fallen through to then get lodged between the floor above and the suspended ceiling of the shop below. So he's had to be rescued from there. They've had to get access to the shop, take the ceiling tiles down, and encourage this frightened little kitten. And there is a picture of Ant, and I'll have to post it for you guys to see, because it's Ant in his fireman's gear, great big guy with this tiny little kitten in his arms. It's so cute. So yeah, that's very adorable. Right, I'm going to grab myself some stamping card here. I've put my stamping platform away, and I've realised I've not stamped out my little bear. So let's get the little bear stamped out. So this is a bit of stamping card that we used on the last live, actually. So it's still got my little bunny on there that I didn't use. So I'm going to pop my bear on here. And to stamp my bear, I'm going to use some memento. I know, poor little thing. And they could hear him meowing, apparently. As soon as they got into the shop, they could hear him meowing away. And I was kind of hoping that he was a stray that they'd rescued and then Aunt could just bring him home. But he did belong to someone, so. But he looked super, super cute. Right, so my little kitten, who's not a little kitten anymore, has been sleeping next to me soundly and now has all of a sudden decided to wake up. So she's sat here now, I think is going to try and escape. So yeah, is anybody having lunch at the moment while they're watching? Make me hungry. Tell me what you're having for your lunch. I'm at the moment, I am on a bit of a diet, trying to lose some post-holiday pounds. Well, Christmas and COVID responsible poundage. So yeah, so I've been on a bit of a diet for the last couple of months, actually. So yeah, so food is constantly at the forefront of my mind. There we go. Just had to let her out. Right. So let's pop this guy back here. And obviously, you see, bears can be any number of colours, can't they? Really, you could have a brown bear and a black bear, grey bear. So let's have a look at our colour scheme here, and let's have a think about what we want to do. Do I want that behind? I might have that behind the grassy hill there. So yeah, so my bear. What colour am I going to do my bear? And the balloons. So Laura says she's just had some Nutella on toast. Let me zoom you in a bit so that we can see. Is it going to zoom? There we go. Zoom in a little bit, and I think, bear. What colour shall we do with the bear? What colour shall we do? I don't want too many differing colours, so I feel like I might go with maybe the E50s are a nice colour. I feel like there should be another colour in between E53 and then E57. It seems to jump. There's an E55. I knew it. So we've got some E50 colours here. And I think I'm going to start with, let's start with the E51. So I've never been a fan of Nutella, Laura, I have to confess. I don't know if that makes me weird. Maybe it does. But yeah, I've never been a chocolate on toast kind of a gal. I more of a love lots of butter on my toast. But I also am partial to a bit of jam. I don't mind a bit of jam on my toast. That I can do. So I'm going all over the surface with that E51, and then I've left a little bit for space for his ears to have a little bit of pink, and then I'm just going to add some shading now with this E53, and this is like I explain before is really the majority of the colour of the bear is what I'm doing now, essentially. So I'm leaving some highlighted areas that I want to be the lightest, but the majority of the colour is this E53, so I'm not leaving a lot of those highlighted areas, just a few. So down the centre, the tops of his paw there, to this side of his paw, and then to the top of his paw there. And then I can use the E51 to blend those areas out. And this gives him a nice kind of mid-tone. And then the E55 is my darkest shade. So I'm just going to use this really to add my depth. So where the body's overlapping, the arm there, the paw, same where the paw is in shadow. I am going to add a bit of shadow to one side of his body, just a little bit, and underneath his feet, under his little fat belly there, and then just around the top of his head there to one side. But he's kind of looking up towards that sun, which is you know, behind him there. So it's not an exact science. Don't spend days worrying about this, about where you're putting your shadow. It really isn't that big a deal. All we're trying to do is make him look a little bit 3D. That literally is the purpose of the shadowing, is that he doesn't look like a flat image. So if it's not, you know, 100% scientifically where that shadow would be, I don't know who's going to come and tell you that. I don't know who the shadow police are, but it's not me. I'm not going to say anything. So and that's what I think we get a little bit too hung up on that sometimes, and we really don't need to, because it really doesn't matter. Like I say, as long as he looks a little bit round, a little bit 3D, that's mission accomplished for me. So, and I think he looks a little bit round now. Julie says she loves Nutella on toast. Just had toast with butter, wishing that you'd had Nutella now. Oh no, I'm making everybody jealous. And Angie says we're trying to get back on the Slimming World wagon, so just had a mug shot for lunch. Ah, that's so you're on the Slimming World. I'm doing the Weight Watchers thing, and I'm to be honest with you, I'm actually really enjoying it. I feel like that needs to be a bit warmer than that. So yeah, I have been enjoying it, you know, in a weird way. And I think part of it is because you kind of know what you're doing, you know what you're on with, which is good for me. It's a bit like if I'm told what I need to do, then I can do it. If I've got to think about it too much, then I'm going to go off the rails a little bit. So I've enjoyed the following a plan and sticking to it. Let me try this. Yeah, that's a nice shade. So sorry, this is the R30. So I'm just going to use that for his ears, but it might not be quite enough for his nose. Let's try this peach colour, the R32. Might be a little strong, but give Give him some little rosy cheeks. So I've gone for that as a nose, but I think I'm going to change my mind on the nose. I think he needs a black nose, so I'm going to go with an N7 here, just to give him that darker nose. That's better. I'm happy with that. Okay. So he's looking kind of cute now. Lindsay says, hey Joe, hi everyone. Just got in from work. Thought I'd join you whilst having your lunch. So what are you having for lunch, Lindsay? We're comparing lunches at the moment. So I need some colours for these balloons. And we've got a lot of colours going on in our spread at the moment. So I'm conscious of making it too many colours. But we have got... we've got the green, the yellow and the blue, which is one side of the rainbow. We could potentially go a little bit the other side of the rainbow with maybe some going to orange, then red and then pink. That might work. That might work as a option. I'm digging that idea actually. Let me try what have I got here? I've got an YR16, a YR18, or should we go with, oh, decisions. What's this one? YR4. That is a chrome orange. That is a true orange. YR4, YR7. Now these are very orangey. These might be a bit too orangey. Look at these bad boys. Let's have a look and see what these are like. They might be a bit too orange, but I do quite like those. Right. In for a penny, in for a pound. So if we're going for that as our colours for the orange, what colours do I want to go for the reds? So this and I'm using different colours today deliberately, out of my comfort zone colours here. So we've got an R05, which I think is, what colour is that? Salmony red. And the R08, which is vermilion. I like that. I might just go with 2 shades of each colour here, but we'll see. And then we're going for some pinks, aren't we? So we've gone with, they're quite salmony colours, which, you know, we could potentially keep in that theme, or I could go with some really nice kind of bright pinks. I mean, this is a lovely colour, RB21, which is a light pink. That's delicious. So RB21, what have I got that goes with RB21 though? Oh, RB23, let's try you. This is pure pink. Nice. Might not be dark enough. Let's try. And this one's going to be way too dark. Oof, that's a big jump. Might have to do some tip to tip action. Not done that for a while, have we? I can't see that there is another, like, a 20 in between those, or if there is, I don't have it. Okay, so I think I've made my decision. Have I frozen again? Rainbow is always a good idea. Yes. Jane says she's just had beans on toast because she was starving. Red, orange and pink, says Julie. Yes. Julie says, I think I need to do a diet, but not one for being told what to do or to eat. Oh, you see, you will struggle then. Angie and I are definitely on the same bus where we like to not to have to think about it. Okay, so let's go for this then. Let's do some balloons. So I'm going to do a coverage of the RV04. No, what am I on about? The YR04, not the RV. I was thinking about the pinks. So this is a nice, lovely shade of orange. And I'm going to take the YR07 and I'm going to use that to create the overlap. There we go. And then just blend that out, keeping that really nice and simple. Then we'll go to our red with the YR0. No, not the YR. Oh dear, what is wrong with me? The R05. So let's add. I was tempted to go for pink in the middle, but this is in more of a rainbow order. The way that I'm doing it. I'm trying to, while we're using lots of colours, which I do enjoy, I don't want to, you know, overawe anyone. I don't want it to be too jarring for the eye. So my light source I feel is coming from the top, but like I say, I'm not really going to worry about it too much. So I'm going to blend that out a little bit. Might need a darker red for this one here. And then for our pink balloon, we've got the RV21, which is a lovely pink shade. Just going to add that all over the surface, and then the R. See, that does not seem to be dark enough for me. I want it to be darker. So I'm going to have to do a bit of tip to tip. So I've taken the top off my dark pink and I'm going to rub some of this excess bit of ink onto my brush, and then I've just done a little sample down here to make sure it's not too dark, and then I can work that onto onto the pink that's already down there, and then blend out that top portion with the paler pink, and that just brings it right back. Lovely, I like that. So for the red, my darkest shade was the R08, and again I don't think there's anything that I've got that is really quite close to that. I think the closest is a R14, which I think is going to be far too red. Yeah, in fact it's not red enough. Okay. And then this is lipstick orange. Again, that's not really dark enough. So yeah, we might have to just leave that as is. Now this, I don't really think that goes. It's not salmony enough. So yeah, I think we might just leave that as is. I think it's fine. I think it's good. So they are my RV shades. Let's pop all of these colours back. I think this is going to look really cute. So just tidy up some of this mess here. then we can cut this little guy out. And it's going to look really bright and cheerful, which is what I wanted. So we do have the coordinating dies in here. So let's grab this and pop this guy through the die cutting machine. Just double checking everything's fully lined up. So we don't want any mistakes. And I'm going to pop him through my big machine just because I don't want to cut my cardstock down. Julie's having a whisper gold. Oh, I haven't had whisper gold. Shall I tell you what my little chocolatey treat is? Because I am one of those weird people who doesn't really eat a lot of chocolate. I would rather have a full box of Pringles than chocolate. That's my thing. So if I am chocolate at the moment, obviously if you're on a diet you're probably not allowed chocolate, so we're not really allowed a lot of chocolate, but there is a brand called Skinny Foods, I think they are, and they do these Skinny Whip bars, and they do a toffee and chocolate one, and oh my goodness, I love it. It's my favourite chocolate. I would have that over any other chocolate actually, I think, which is a big statement, isn't it? So that's my little bear. Oh yeah, you see, I think that works really well with the pop of colour in the middle. Oh, sorry, I moved that down a little bit. So so let's get this sorted. What I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to stick this to my background because I want to trim it down a little bit. So I am going to add some glue to this. Obviously not all of it is going to glue down, but that's okay. So I'm not going right to the edges because I know I'm going to be trimming those down, but I want enough of the grass on there that my sentiment is visible. And the other thing with this die set as well is not to focus on it too much because it's not in the sale, but you can put it on an angle so that your hills are at an angle. Now I'm just conscious that I also wanted to pop my little fence behind there as well, didn't I? It will still go behind there though. So let's add a bit of glue onto this guy as well. And I don't know whether to pop up my background. What do you think? Once we've got this all stuck down, I'm still a bit zoomed in, aren't I? Shall I zoom back out a little bit? Zoom out a little bit. Zoom in one more. There we go. So then we've got my little fence behind there. Is it a bit too far forward now? Put a little bit of glue on there, but that'll dry clear. And that's on there. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, so I was thinking, should maybe, I think my fence is a bit skew with. Is my fence skew with? Or have I made it skew with now? What's am I doing? There we go. So let's trim this off. Yeah, I'm thinking, because I was thinking, oh, there's quite a lot of dimension on here already. Maybe I don't pop that up and just pop up my character. So I think that may be what we do. So that little bit of fence, I've not cut very straight and it's going to bother me, so I'm just going to trim that again. That's a bit better, isn't it? And then we will just stick this down with some liquid glue, I think. And then we'll pop up our character and maybe one of those little clouds. I like to make sure that I've got plenty of glue around the edges because they're the bits that I don't want to lift, and as long as you've got those stuck down properly, then the rest should stick really nicely. So let's just line that up. The other thing about obviously using the liquid glue means that I can position it a little bit better. So Angie says she loves the salted caramel skinny bar. She's a chocoholic. Yes, that's a really nice one as well. And they do a double chocolate one. Ant likes the, well, he likes all of them. And he likes all of the chocolate. So he's struggling because he's not on the Weight Watchers, but he's trying to, he's training at the moment. So he's doing a training plan with a personal trainer, and is on a bit of a restricted diet, shall we say. So he's not allowed the amount of chocolate that he would normally have, and he normally has a lot of chocolate. And it's coming up to Easter. Oh dear. Laura says, I really like the dark chocolate. 95% cocoa is my favourite. I like dark chocolate, you know. Ant hates it. He doesn't really like it, but he does have it on his porridge. Julie says, I've been using the Colour My Life app to log all my craft supplies and loving the app. The app was spoken about at the class. Yes, it was Linda who mentioned the Colour My Life app, and we have sent our details to them for all the Time for Tea products to be listed on there. So I don't know if you've seen us on there yet, Julie, but she is listing all of our current active products onto her website. So so if you've got the Colour My Life app, I don't have it at the moment, but I am going to have a look at it, because you can then upload all of your purchases, your crafty purchases, and keep track of what you've got, so then you don't buy things twice. And if you've got quite a few items with, and they stock all the big craft companies, your Lawn Fawn, Mama Elephant, I think, are on there. People that you recognise. They Ranger inks, so your distress inks. If you're collecting your inks, then that will be on there as well. I feel like I need a third cloud. Do I want another big one or a little one? Things need to be in threes, don't they? I'm going to go with a little one in this top corner. And I'm just going to use my little machine to do this one, to keep it quick and easy. I'll use my little Happy Doodle machine here. Get my other plates out. And yeah, so if you haven't seen that app, have a look at it, because I think that you have to pay a subscription, Julie, from what I remember. I don't think it's a lot. I don't know how much it is, but I think it's a good way of keeping on top of all of your craft supplies. There might be like different subscriptions that you can sign up for. But yes, it's I'm excited that Time for Tea is going to be on there now, which is really cool. So yes, I think that works much better now we've got that on there. So I'm going to add some foam to this guy. I'm going to use some of my foam roll and get this guy popped up. Jane says that's awesome news. You just got that app, yay! And Julie says, oh, that's exciting. I've taken my own pick so far as not recognising barcodes yet. Loved putting my distress oxides on as it was just a case of scanning barcode and all the details are added for you. That makes it so much easier, doesn't it? I love that. Anything that's going to make, you know, your organisation, I think, and keeping track of your products easier is got to be a win, definitely. So let's get this little guy on here, and then we're buzzing now, I think. This guy is going to look super cute. Just there. Yes. And then I'm going to stick this larger one down flat. But then the one on front I'm going to pop up. Oh, come on, I've just been using you. Why are you doing this to me? It's literally just been used, hasn't it? Why would that have just suddenly clogged? Oh. Got glue on the end of my pin. Julie says, I've been on free trial so far, then I think it's less than £2 a month. You want to say 125. Well, that sounds very reasonable, doesn't it? Found some Crafter's Companion items, scan, others don't, which I thought was strange. I guess it depends on, you know, how often they update their information. Because she's got my current list, but then I guess I have to keep sending her an updated list. Oh, that's annoying. Right, we shall come back to that one. Here's another one. We'll have another one. $150 a month, says Jane, with a free trial. It's good that you get a free trial. I mean, you know, if you're on it, your free trial, you could probably get quite a lot of your stuff updated, couldn't you? And then, you know. Oh dear, this one's well and truly clogged as well. Being left too long. Oh no. Yep, that one's not going anywhere. Have to use the big boy. Which is not quite as easy to direct, but works. So let's pop this little cloud down here, and then this one. Could have sworn I heard a cat crying then. Maybe I'm hearing things. I'm going to use some of my smaller tape for this bit. Just to put this cloud on here. Hello Emma, how are you? Just popped in for the end. That's it, we're almost at the end now. Do I want that there or do I want that there? Or there, or there. Ooh. I think maybe there. So it's overcrowded my little balloons. I feel like my balloons needed a little bit more of a lift. I feel like that one's sagging a little bit. I don't know why. But, because I did think I'd put enough tape under there, but maybe not. Yeah, that works. I'm just going to sneak this underneath. Just to give it a little bit of an extra lift. That's better. Because I didn't want it to sag. Okay, now that is just hanging off the edge, so I'm just going to snip off that end there. I don't mind it hanging off a little bit, but that was a bit too much. Now my little guy does still feel like he needs a little bit of grounding, So there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can use your pencils, or you could use your Copics. And I'm tempted to try using my pencils actually. I've not used my Faber-Castell pencils for ages. I mean, they're super dusty. They've been up on there for so long. But let's have a little look at a bit of green. I'm going to use a little bit of scratch paper here just to test out the shades of green. Okay, I mean, these are working really lovely on this super smooth paper, but it's going to be a little bit different onto the cardstock, but I just feel like that might give a little bit of a bit more grounding for him. So I'm using the edge of my pencil, so that's going to be a bit of a softer line, and then I'm just going to use this darker shade to add a little bit more. That's nice. I like that. Let's just finish that off for me. I think that's what all it needed was that little bit of shadow underneath his feet. So there's a couple of things we could do here now, because I'm just going to add some finishing touches. I'm going to use my Jelly Roll pen to add some little freckles to the cheeks and some little highlights, as we always do. But I'm tempted to add some glossy accents there to cute. Isn't he adorable? I'm going to add some highlights to my fence, because I just think that does help it stand out a little bit. So highlights across the top and highlights down the side. That just finishes it off for me. We can just do this one at the edge there. I think that works really well. So yeah, if I add a highlight to the balloons, which is what I would love to do, that will be removed when I add my glossy accents. So it's a bit of a trade-off. Which do I do? And I think, you know, balloons are shiny, and I think it'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? So I am just gonna check that my glossy accents isn't gonna let me down, and then let's got a few bubbles there, but I'm just gonna swirl those out, and then let's now I have had another idea actually, which is a worry, isn't it? But let's see if this works. So I've got a few little bubbles there. Just going to try and squash those. You can try and get those out with a pin or with your pokey tool. So I've just done 2 there in just the glossy accents. Just try and get rid of some of those bubbles. And then the centre one, I'm wondering if we could do this in a sparkly gloss or glaze. I don't know whether that will ruin it. I don't know. My glaze don't want to come out though, so that's interesting. I'm having lots of blockages today. Maybe this is trying to tell me something. Don't use the glaze. I just thought, you know, it might add a bit of sparkle. going to be a bit too dull. It just seems to be quite gloopy. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's very gloopy. It's not what I expected it to be like. So maybe it's too warm in my office. So I'm hoping that I've not ruined that balloon, but I'm going to mix it with some of the glaze, the glossy accents, and see if I end up with a shimmery glossy accent. So glossy accents always looks a little bit milky anyway when you first apply it. So I'm hoping that then that is going to just dry back to something that's a bit clearer and a bit shimmerier. I quite like that actually. So if that does dry back, that might work quite well. So there we go. So I think that is pretty much our card done. When it's dried, I will I'll take some pictures of it so that you can see how that dries. But we've got some gloss on our balloons there, which I think is going to look really cute. And then we've got a cute little bear in the sunshine on a lovely sunny day, having a little walk with his balloons, wishing you have a very good day. Yay! I think that's turned out really cute. As we mentioned at the very beginning, if those of you that saw the first half of the programming, most of the items here can be found in our spring clean sale. Let me bring in the notice again. So, spring clean sale with our little bear. Just bear with me 1 second, guys. Just needed to blow my nose there. So yes, our spring clean sale, 70% off selected items in the spring clean sale section of our store. Use the code SPRINGCLEAN22 and get your bargains while stocks last. Julie says, not likely having Blake home. He wants me to play Minecraft on the Xbox with him. And Julie says, a stunning card. Oh, I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. I'm sorry that we had to stop and start. I don't know what's going on with Facebook and all the rest of it. But we got back going in the end, didn't we? And we managed to make a really cute card in the process. So thank you so much for joining me and having your lunch and your chocolate while we're crafting. I'm going to go and see what Weight Watchers allows me to eat now for my lunch. And then I think we best start collating some of these orders that have been coming through. Thank you so much, everyone, for all of your orders and for all of your support. And I shall see you on Thursday evening for our usual